opening bell. Ready?
Nice.
Have we ran?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Great.
It is ready. Got my coffee and the morning bell.
Morning tea ready. Afternoon tea.
Nice.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Unity Trading Model live stream. This morning we're going to be trading using our Excel trading model. We've got an interface. We're going to be connecting through MetaTrader 5 and we're going to be taking some automated trades using our model. With me this morning is Ren Vallo. How are you today, Ren? Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Happy New Year. It's a start to a brand new year. Let's make it a good automated trading year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's not been a great year for stocks, as we know. So we were just talking before we came on about it's going to have to be a turnaround. We're going to have a bit of a turnaround. We're going to have a bounce anyway, surely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt. After having a year like 2022, we're due a bounce.
Yeah, we are due a bounce. Even if it comes to naught, we're in January. We've had a tough December. December is normally, historically, it's the strongest trading month of the year. We've had a bad December. I predict that we're going to have a stronger January. But today we're going to be using automated trading, using a fully automated algorithmic strategy. And if you're joining us for the first time, or if you've seen the model before, we have the Excel model, the Unity Excel trading model on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see a bit closer exactly what we are talking about. We're about 5 minutes here to go until the opening bell in New York. The stock market reopens after the break. We're up slightly, aren't we, Ren?
Yeah. It looks like the futures markets are giving us a rally for the first day of the trading year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so let's have a quick look. Actually, I'm going to show you what people watching the video here, what we are, the price, where we're getting the prices from.
Yep.
See here, we're using our MetaTrader 5 terminal. And
Mark, it looks like you're looking at silver today. So we're taking a look at a bull market in some of the commodities.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the only reason I have chosen silver, it's not a favorite of mine. It's not something I usually watch, but you can see on the charts here what exactly I'm looking at. And this is the silver chart. And I'm just going to zoom in very slightly here. See, since roughly the middle of October, we have seen a bounce of, we can see it here, almost 30% actually. In fact, slightly over, high to low, over 30% bounce. And the reason I spotted it today is it's up here on the Market Watch list. Again, I'll zoom in slightly here for the purposes of people watching it. You get this Market Watch on MetaTrader 5, which is how we access our prices. And I just happened to notice that silver was well up there with showing a 1.7% daily gain here. So dropping down to the 1 minute time frame, because we're taking trades on the 1 minute time frame, you can see what we've done on the 1 minute basis over, there we go, over today.
Wow.
January 3rd. A lot of the movement actually occurred earlier on. But
well, it looks like Santa really liked the silver market this year.
Yeah. So I don't know why. We're not exploring the fundamentals here, but we're looking for opportunities. So a few different ways that we like to trade with Unity. Of course, you can use whatever strategies you like, but one of the things that we like to do, that I like to do, is to look at what markets are moving, what's strong. That could be stocks, commodities, currencies, indices, whatever you like to trade, ETFs, whatever markets are available, and just trade into strength. So trade in the direction of strength, and silver is showing a pretty good performance today. So I loaded silver into the model, and I'm going to use it to demonstrate some of the new features
Nice.
that we've
Okay,
introduced.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
So we can go over some of the new features. We talked about them on our last meeting. We'll go over them in detail today.
Right. So yeah. So we've done Some cool stuff, actually. We've made it easier for users and more powerful, of course, because that's the only way to go to make it more user-friendly and easier to use for all the users here. I'm using strategy 2, which is a quite a simple entry system where either we're buying and selling on a number of consecutive higher closes or lower closes, and that is all based on the setting here. So one of the new things we've introduced is a very simple optimizer controlled by the button here. And just zooming in here, all you need to do is to click on the button and it will run through a series of different options and present a box which you cannot see on the video here, but it's basically telling me to use a setting of -4 to get the highest trade size, and that's the average trade size, or -3 for the highest net profit.
Nice.
See here, so I've switched to -4, and what that corresponds to is 3 consecutive lower closes. So 3 bars where it closes lower in each consecutive bar, and then we enter long. And
yeah, that's a brand new feature, right, Mark? The optimization.
exactly, yeah. So this is brand new. We're only rolling this out now. Current users are able to download this version here. So it saves you time. It means you can scan markets, and it just takes the pressure off thinking, which we want to do less of, and gets you into the zone of being able to actually open the best trades each morning. So there we go, strategy 2. There's also a optimizer for strategy 1, but if you have your own ideas, people watching, if you have your own ideas about strategies and you would like to implement your ideas in an automated way and use an Excel dashboard like this, then this is exactly the platform that you can use. And if you want any help, you want some support, programming support, trading advice or expertise, you can contact Ren and I, and we will be happy to help you. So if you think this is something you're interested in, that is an...
Well, there you go.
There we go, opening bell. If this is something you're interested in, automated trading with Excel, trading your own strategies, trading these strategies, then there is a link. If you're watching this on YouTube, there is a link below the video, and you can get on the email list and you will find out everything there. So you'll even be able to trade a demo version of this model yourself. So there we go. Got strategy up and running. We're trading in a single direction. You can trade long and short with this model, but one of the things that we've done before, I like to do, is just trade in the direction of things that are already moving upwards. So we know silver's in a strong uptrend. And if I scroll down here, I've selected long trades only, and I've done that using a simple checkbox.
So Mark, question about the optimizations. Were you running the optimization with the long trades only selected, or did you run it with both selected when you started?
Yeah, you can do either. Yeah, you can do either. However, this morning I had my direction separate, so I looked at what's moving, what looks interesting. Silver's moving. Loaded up silver prices, which we can go over in a moment. Really, really quick to do, really easy to do. I then selected long only, then I optimized. If we wanted to put the short trades back in, I think we'd see a worse performance, because you can see here because the markets move so strongly to the upside, we're not performing well, at least on this setup.
Yes, that makes sense.
But I can run the optimizer again and see what it comes up with. You see, it's still found a reasonable solution.
It did, actually.
Yeah,
impressive.
so it's for people watching, I'm just going to show you what Ren and I can see in a bit more detail. We've got long trades here. You can see my cursor. Long trades are profitable. Short trades in this scenario, even though we've got a decent percentage of winning trades, overall short trades are not profitable in this scenario. However, if, as I was going to do before, use this checkbox, switch off short trades, go back to looking just at long trades.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a better performance.
Yeah, much better. And it makes sense because we're in such a strong uptrend. So that does
Yeah,
make sense.
that's there's a million ways to trade. Everybody's got their favorite ways to do it. I like doing this. Many times we've used long and short trades, and
Yep.
if you don't have a strong directional bias, that's a good way to do it, to trade both long and short. So this is one of the new things we've introduced this
Yeah.
year. It made a real difference, really sped things up for me. You can review a dozen markets very quickly using the optimizer. You can find the best settings and see what's performing well on any particular day. Brings me round to the other thing, or one of the other big things we introduced, Ren, the number of rows. So this is
Yes, we can
how much
download.
historical data is available to the model.
Right. So the model can download as much data now as your broker or data provider will allow. So if you have like a year's worth of 1 minute data that you want to import from your broker and they allow it, you can do it. So it's just really now the limitation is more just your broker and how much data they'll allow you to download at the time frame that you're trying to download. So yeah, so that's a big enhancement for doing back testing, to do optimizations, those kinds of things. You can look at longer periods, more data, and get a lot better view of what the market's been doing.
Exactly, it's enhancing this divide, isn't there? Because there's two
Yeah.
aspects to any type of algorithmic trading. It's the testing or the back testing. So where we're
Yep.
testing on historical data, there's this important process which is often ignored, forward testing, that this model is just absolutely perfect for as well, to forward test your strategy. And then there is the live trading. So between
Yes.
forward testing and live trading, the process is seamless. And between the back testing and forward testing, it's getting smoother as well. So I'll demonstrate here how the system works. So we've got the number of rows of data here. So this simply refers to how much historical data is in the model. We like to use 1,000 rows just for historical reasons, Ren.
Yeah. Yeah. And
No,
it works
there's
well
no
with forward.
magical value for that.
Yeah, it lets us calculate most of our indicators without any trouble. Having 1,000 rows of data, we get a pretty good indication of how the back testing was going. But it's not too much data, so everything runs really smoothly in Excel with 1,000 rows. So it's kind of a good spot for forward testing.
Mm. Yeah, so I'm going to just go up to 3,000 rows of data. So you can imagine here we're using 3,000 1 minute time periods. I'm going to restart the interface, which literally only takes a moment. When I can find the right directory. So it's really simple, really lightweight interface, takes no time at all to load. It doesn't load anything onto your computer. All you need to do is run it every time you want to if you're back testing, anytime you want to download more data, and when you're trading and forward testing, anytime you want to run the
Yeah.
system.
And the other thing I would say, Mark, that you can do is if you have started the interface and you started off with, like, say, 100,000 rows of data, and you change your rows down to 1,000 for trading, that data is still in your spreadsheet. So you can go back to 100,000 rows if you want to, and then review that data as well. So the data is still in the spreadsheet in one of the tabs. So that's kind of a nice thing. So if you do start your back test with a larger amount of data, then you can kind of work your way lower. You just can't go higher without restarting because the
Yeah.
data,
Yeah,
if that
so
makes
it's
any
just
sense.
it's just personal preference. It's
Yeah.
really smooth. All I've done is I've restarted the interface. So I've selected 3,000 rows. You can simply see here we've just got more data. We've got a lot. The
Yep.
data we were looking at was here, so I can rerun the optimizer if I want to.
Yeah,
Only
you got
takes
a
a
lot.
moment to scroll through the values. There
And
you
one
go.
thing that's really nice,
That's what it's
Mark,
giving me over this longer time period. And now, as you were saying, Ram, we don't need to restart it the next time. We could just drop down to 1,000.
exactly. You can just drop down to 1,000 now. And one of the really nice things that I like that you've done with this update is like reformatting that chart for you as well, which is really nice. So when you change your rows to 3,000, you see all 3,000 rows of data. That's really nice in the charts.
Yeah, so yeah, very simply, the green chart up here shows the trading strategy. This shows the results of all the trades when they're open. Flat parts indicate there is no trade open. Underneath it, you can see the underlying. You can see what silver has done over this time period, and the slope upwards is why I decided to go long only in this particular morning session, just to demonstrate what you can do trading in the direction of the dominant market trend for over any time period. It doesn't have to be 1 minute. We're using 1 minute because it's quick, it's active, and we're going to get lots of action, but it doesn't have to be 1 minute.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Anybody watching this live, feel free to drop any comments or questions into the chat box. We'll be happy to answer those. And in the meantime, I'm going to have a look at some of the new changes. So a bit less significant, but what I wanted to do, one of the visions we had for this for quite a while, is to make it a dashboard that you can control. So it's in Excel, it's in a comfortable format for most of us. Almost everybody has used Excel. And you can look here, you can control things like the profit target, you can adjust those, and you can see the results update in real time. You can see the capital graph changing. Another thing that I wanted to do is make it clear what's going on with the current trade. So we've got this area up here now which shows us when we have an open trade. We haven't got an open trade at the moment. It shows us our position size multiplier, and this is a function. This goes up and down because we're using the ATR usually, but you can also use points to calculate your position size. In other words, how you calculate your profit targets and stop loss. We're using the ATR here, so it's showing it over the recent number of bars, so it adjusts the volatility. And you can see here the potential profit and potential loss for any trade. So you know whether you're getting good value for any particular trade or for the next trade that's going to open up.
Yeah, that's very helpful, Mark, because in the past I was kind of going back and forth between MetaTrader and the Excel sheets, and now this helps a lot to see if you're in a trade real quick. You can just see it right there on your results page.
Yeah, we want everything to be controlled here from Excel. This is the whole thing. It's got to be easy to use. It's got to easy to program. We've got a load of different indicators. We only demonstrate 2 different strategies here to keep it simple, but there is unlimited number of indicators and ideas, trading strategy ideas out there, and you can program them into this model.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, unlike anything else, you can program anything you want into the Excel model. So like, if you have an idea, you can just put it into Excel, see how it performs in the back test, and then start forward testing it immediately. Exactly. You're not limited to any brokerage indicators or anything like that. If you have an idea that's totally custom and it's your secret idea, you can put it into Excel and see how it performs.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want to trade breakouts, you want to trade mean reversals, you want to trade trend continuation, trend changing, you want to trade patterns, whatever you want to trade, you can do it in Excel.
Even candlesticks. Yeah.
You can trade candlesticks. You can use a stochastic, RSI, MACD, Bollinger Band, you name it. We've got all these indicators ready to go for this model. And
you never know, somebody watching the show could be like actually have their own custom indicator they developed it no one knows about, and just put it in.
That's fine, absolutely fine as well. In fact, Excel is maybe the best platform there is for coming up with custom technical indicators, whatever your ideas, anything you've got to monitor what's going on in the market. So 3 consecutive lower closes, which is our entry here. This is effectively an indicator. It's an indicator that we've plugged in here. Really simple to put in Excel, and it's triggering our trades and giving us the trading strategy.
Yeah, one of our listeners, I don't know if you remember this back in the summer, Mark, when Montana had joined our call, he had mentioned doing something like that, and we kind of challenged him to code it into Excel, and then here it is. You did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, there we go. So I think he said, I can't remember exactly what we were doing. Were we doing reversals or something?
I think
I
we were
don't know.
doing.
Whatever we were doing, he suggested doing the opposite. But what we've done, in fact, is have the best of all worlds. It's basically you can use whatever setup you like. The
Yep.
filters here. So we've got our long price sector filter, which is a long stochastic oscillator. So you can get the sweet spot, your favorite round, EMA,
Yep. I love that
trade in
one.
the direction of the EMA, and you can set the value as well. If you want to have a long EMA or a short EMA, you can easily do that.
Yeah, it really filters out a lot of the trades. So you're not in the market as much, but the performance I think is a little better usually.
Yeah. And all of these filters work as a mirror image. So if you're trading long, above an EMA of 80, you'll be trading short below an EMA of 80. As you say, it's there to filter out trades. Another fairly new introduction is this time filter as well. So we're
Yes.
trading intraday, we're demonstrating intraday trading, but you may want to focus in on a specific period of the day. In other words, the classic morning London breakout trade, if you like, the whatever the overnight drift in stock indexes, whatever the concept, you can narrow it down to the type of time of day, and you can use it, and you can do it using just these drop down menus here.
It's very cool. Yeah, that's a huge enhancement for us.
So that works exactly the same way whether or not you're backtesting. In other words, you want to focus on just this time period, but a large number of them, or only want your strategy to trade live during certain times of the day. So just the morning period, you use exactly the same process.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of work and a lot of studies on time of day, day of week, different seasonality patterns. So you could put that in here as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's loads you can do. It's very user friendly. This is the result of goodness knows a lot of work that we've had to put in and behind the scenes, Ren, but we've got it out there. It is now available. There's packages available. So if you want to test it, test out your ideas, alternatively you want to get in touch with us, tell us your ideas or tell us what your concept is, and we can help you translate that into an automated system that you can run directly from your desktop computer, your laptop. You can run it from a VPS, virtual private server, that can be where you live. It can be anywhere else in the world as well. So you can do
Yes.
all of that. All you need is an installation of Excel. You need a Windows system because, well, Excel here is based in Windows, and MT5, MetaTrader 5, is also based in Windows.
Yes. So far it's just a Windows platform for now.
It is, yeah, it is a Windows platform. You can see, actually, I'm going to zoom in for people watching on both live and playback. We've taken a trade here. So you can see here, we've taken a trade at resistance level. So it will be interesting to see how this trade performed. But this was an
Yeah.
automated trade that was taken as we were talking here.
Yep.
See
Excellent.
here, we've got our trade. Got our direction. It's in the right direction. So we'll see how that one performs.
Yeah, so we're hoping for a break of resistance there, and that trade could be really successful.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the key thing is, like we said before, it's following our rules. We want to enter on a set specific rule that we do all the time, and we exit on set specific rules that we also do all the time. So if that type of systematic approach appeals to you, whether just because you have a logical mind or whether or not you are working, whether or not you're busy, like most of us are, you can use this system to automate your strategy during the day or night.
And take the emotion out of the trading too. So you're not focused so much on the trading; you can focus more on the strategy. Let the Excel platform, the Unity platform, do the work for you, and then you can just focus on your strategy development.
Right, exactly. And also, the other area of flexibility that Unity has got, if you're trading on the 1 minute time frame, likely you'll want to keep an eye on it and know what your strategy is doing, and this is why some of the features work well for that. Equally, if you're trading on the hourly time frame or even a higher time frame, you won't want to watch it all the time, so you can set
Sure.
it and forget it, and it works well in both scenarios.
It does, yeah. It's great for that actually, especially on the. I find it better, like really useful on the longer time frames, like hour to like 4 hour or daily, because you're not having to pay attention to it as much. So it's like you don't have to remember to check; it's doing it for you.
Exactly. And the other thing that we've spoken about before, these longer time frames, bigger time frames mean larger potential trades, which means the cost of excuse me, the cost of trading, cost of slippage is less
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
per
that's the
trade.
problem. That is one of the largest problems with the smaller time frames is the slippage and cost of trading, because you every single time you take a trade, there's a little bit of slippage and there's a commission, so that
Mm,
eats up into your profits.
yeah. Although what we found in our testing is the model is very close to what we would expect. It's not losing
Yeah,
anymore. It's basically the big factor is the cost of trading. It does depend on the strategy, it does depend in part as well on market conditions and possibly even your broker, but the cost of trading is always going to be there. The bid ask spread is always going to be there and a factor.
yeah, exactly. And some markets are better than others. Like that Euro USD is really good.
Yeah.
Very tight markets. This is the first time we've tried silver, so I don't know how you're making out over there with with that one. But that's a different market. So I'd be
Yeah,
curious.
I've never traded silver before, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who do like trading silver, and there's lots of people
Yep.
out there who are market agnostic, which is a good approach as well.
Cool.
They don't mind; they're just looking for where the trends are, where whatever you like to call them, the inefficiencies, whatever aspect of the market you want to pick up on. There are a ton of markets out there. So,
Absolutely.
so this trade, yeah, we've stalled here at resistance, but the trade is going to follow our strategy and exit at the appropriate time.
Right. So the risk management's already been programmed in. The stop loss is there waiting if we go too far down. So you're basically everything is set. So we just have to wait and see.
Exactly, yeah, and resist the temptation to override our strategy.
Yes. Yes. Don't look too much.
So, a question from Abhishek. Hi, Abhishek. Does this work on the long time trade? I take that to mean you mean the larger time frames, 4 hourly or the daily time frame. If not, let me know. But it definitely works on the daily time frame. What would you say to that, Ren? How would you run it on the longer time frames?
Absolutely, it works really well on the long time frames. It works on any time frame down to about 1 minute. Is I'd say the fastest you'd want to run this, because it's not a high frequency trading system, but the daily, weekly, monthly. If you're running monthly, you would probably want to set up a VPS and have it make sure that it's on all the time, and maybe put a monitor on it, because that's such a long time frame. But yeah, it works on all the longer time frames. Basically, any time frame that is supported by the data that you're downloading. So as long as you have enough data to give you enough rows of data to calculate your indications, then yeah, it should work.
Yeah. And another thing that you could, that's just occurred to me that you can do is if you've got a longer time frame horizon, you're looking at the daily time frame. Say we've got the chart at the moment shows the 1 minute, but if I switch that onto the daily here, for example, we've got a daily time frame direction, but we can
Yep.
drop down to the smaller time frames to time our entries, and that is a very common approach as well. So say we drop down to the hourly time frame, for example, and we want to get a pullback, pick up a pullback, and then trade back onto the daily time frame to identify our eventual profit targets, where we want the trade to end up. Again, that's another approach that you can use with this type of model.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting approach, to go look for the pullback first. Then you're going to go long, because you're in a very long term uptrend, or like daily time uptrend, and you're saying, okay, I'm looking for that pullback, and you could set up parameters in Excel to look for that, to signal you to start trading on the shorter time frame.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah, that's a great idea, Mark. I like it.
yeah, yeah. So anything you can imagine, you can program into it. Can be programmed into Excel. You can use with Unity. So it's all there. It's a blank canvas. We've got loads of ideas for you, but it's also a blank canvas, and you can
Yep.
put onto it the strategies that you want. So, Ren, I think we're going to wrap this live stream up today. Our first one of the year, really exciting. Going
Yes.
to be doing loads more. We're going to be introducing new features and new things in the model very soon. So if anybody is watching it, you have any more question, hopefully that answered your question, Abhishek. Anybody else has got any questions, please drop them in the chat. Other than that, we will reconvene next week and we'll have more trades for you, more things coming soon for the Unity Excel trading model. If you want to get on the list, find out more about this, find out how you can get started today, automated trading with Excel, automate your trading, make everything a lot easier and take the emotion out, like Ren, you have just said a moment ago.
Yeah.
There's a link below the video on YouTube and you can get on the email list.
Yep. Sounds good. Any questions? Yeah, just let us know. We'll get back to you as soon as possible.
That's right, yeah. Any questions from now, please put them in an email and in our contact form, and we'll be happy to help. So, Ren, thanks for joining me. Good start to the
Thank you,
year.
Mark.
Find some
Yes.
new markets. We'll get some exciting new markets coming up and hopefully some good trades. I look forward to speaking with you next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope your first week of the new year goes great.
Yeah.
Happy trading.
Okay.